Alright guys, how are we all doing? Welcome to the very first Advent Awards. So this year I wanted to do a little fun video just to mark the end of Advent season, and I thought it'd be fun to do the Advent Awards. So obviously I have unboxed a lot of Advent calendars this year. I've actually opened 37 Advent calendars. That's a lot of Advent calendars, that is a lot of products. And we've seen some good, we've seen some bad, and some questionable product choices. So, most of the calendars I've unboxed this year have been multi-brand calendars, but I've also unboxed some brand exclusive calendars such as skincare or makeup brands. So today we have 14 different categories, and as we go through each category, leave your guesses for each winner in the comments down below, or let me know which calendars you would have picked for each category instead. Also hit the thumbs up button if you did pick up a beauty advent calendar this year, and let's dive into it. So for all these advent calendars, this is just going off my experience with them, the ones I've purchased. I've not included the ones I didn't purchase because I can't really give you a good review on those. So these are based on the 37 that I've unboxed. And of course it's all my opinions. My best calendar might be your worst calendar might be my best calendar, but that's okay. So if you would have picked any other calendars, let me know. So let's start with the first category, which is Best Value Advent Calendar of 2023. Now to work out the value of the calendars, obviously we could have looked at the highest value as in like this is worth over £1,000. But what I've done is looked at the cost of the calendar compared with the value, and I picked out the 4 best value calendars just based on how much you pay versus how much value you get, if that makes sense. So first up we have Look Fantastic. That one was £99 and the value was £565. So the cost was 17% of the value. Then we have Glossy Box, which was priced at £80 and the value was £473. So that was only 16%. Then we have M&S coming in strong at the £45 mark with a value of £340. So the cost was only 13% of the value. And then coming in first place for best value is Avant. That one was at £99 with a value of £877 and the cost was only 11% of the value. So based on how it worked out, the best value is Avant. Obviously there is some disagreement about the RRPs of Avant products and the value and if they're worth it, but that's a conversation for a different time. So if you did want to discount that one, then the winner would be M&S for best value. That one was a really good one, like £45 was great price. Next up we have the worst value. Now this one was quite interesting because when I was looking at the worst value, it seems to be mainly single brand calendars, so not your multi-brand calendars. So again, I've worked out exactly the same, so it's how much you pay as a percentage of the value that they claim to be. So we're going to start with the Body Shop. This one was £145 and the value was £250, so the price was 58% of the value. Next we have the White Company. This one was £175 with a value of £283, which was 61% of the value. Then we have 2 coming in at 63%, which is Beauty Works, which was £99 worth £155, and also the Rituals Premium, which was £186.90 with a value of £295.50, which leaves the worst value, Charlotte Tilbury. Now with this one it was £160 and the value of products was £222. That's what I calculated it to be. I'm not really sure if that is accurate though, but if it is accurate, then you're paying 72%, so you're only saving 30%, but yeah. So those were like the single branded calendars. If we're also including multi-branded calendars, we have ASOS. This one is £90 with a value of £391, so you're paying 23%. Latest in Beauty was £175 worth £700, so you're paying 25%. Holland & Barrett was £45 worth £179, so 25% again. And next was £95 worth £355, so you're paying 26%. So based on that, the best value is the multi-branded calendars, because most of the single branded ones you're paying a lot more for, which is interesting because a lot of the products in the single branded ones you get in the multi-branded ones anyway, and you get such a big saving. So it's definitely worth getting a multi-branded one next year if you want to get your money's worth. Okay, next up we have the most full sizes. It's always exciting to get a full size product in an advent calendar. You feel like you're actually getting your money's worth, don't you? And this year we saw a lot of full sizes, like I was very impressed. So I've got 6 calendars here with some pretty good full sizes in. First one is Boots. So the Boots calendar had 14 full sizes in, which was quite impressive for a 24-day calendar. Then we have Selfridges with 16 full sizes. This was just an all-round wow calendar. I absolutely love that one. Next we have Space NK with 19 full sizes. I mean, that was just an all-round wow calendar again, so that was great. A surprising one for me was MAC. MAC had 21 full sizes in a 24-day advent calendar. There's only 3 travel sizes and that was just the 3 skincare products. I think it was. So 21 out of 24, that is just insane. Next we have Sephora with 23 full-size products. This again was a great calendar this year. We had high expectations based on last year, their very first Sephora UK advent calendar, and they lived up to it. It was great. Really like that. 23 full sizes. Amazing. But the winner for the most full sizes is Harvey Nichols. They had 24 full sizes. Now the Harvey Nichols calendar was one of the calendars with the most products in anyway, so you kind of expect there to be more full sizes. But yeah, 24 full sizes. I think we had around, was it about the 45 product mark, I think it was. So yeah, amazing. The next category is the most improved. Now we have two contenders in this category. The first one is Avant. This is purely based on the price. So they did have a calendar last year. It was a 12-day calendar, just Avant products. And I really like Avant products. I find they work really nicely on my skin. Obviously they are quite pricey, so it's great to find them in calendars, in boxes and stuff like that. But when they released the calendar, I was like, I could get this. But then I looked at the price tag. I'm pretty sure last year it was around the £400 mark. It was insane. It was so expensive. And it just didn't really entice me. For 12 days, £400. Just didn't want to pay that. So this year it was £99, plus I think I got 10% off because I signed up to the wait list. So yeah, less than £90 for me. So that was a definite improvement just based on the price. But the winner for the most improved advent calendar for 2023, can we guess what it is? It is Harvey Nichols. So last year I was so excited for this one. It was the very first calendar last year. I was just so disappointed. Like, there was just so many vouchers in it. It just wasn't wow. But this year, I feel like they've really stepped up the game. They've put in so many more products, better brands, less vouchers, and just overall a better selection. So hats off Harvey Nicks. Well done. I think they've redeemed themselves this year. The next category is the most exciting advent calendar. Now obviously this one will depend on what you like to unbox, what products you like, what brands. But for me there are three contenders in this category. The first one being P. Louise. Like, there was so much hype around that calendar, and when it came, it was an actual princess castle house dreamland. It was just so cool. And the fact that it all lit up, it had the train, and all the products were exclusive to the advent calendar as well. It was just very exciting. Attention to detail on that one was 10 out of 10. It was incredible. So yeah, that is definitely up there as one of the most exciting. Then of course we have Vogue, because this is Vogue's very first. It's called the festive advent calendar, not the beauty advent calendar. So we didn't have just beauty products in, there was lifestyle products. So we had a bit of jewellery, we had some skincare devices, we had some socks, an eye mask. It was just such a fab calendar, and I was just so excited unboxing it. I really enjoyed unboxing that calendar. Just everything about it was perfect. I loved it. So yeah, definitely exciting for me. And then the third one, which is the winner in this category, is Space NK. This one, I mean, was it day 15 and 16 back-to-back triple doors? Incredible. And just so many amazing products, so many full sizes. It was just fab. It was just really, really exciting. I just love that one so much. And yeah, that was my number one calendar for this year, and the most exciting too. Which of course leads us on to the most boring. Now I don't really like to say a calendar's boring, because they're not boring. They're advent calendars, we're getting products, it is exciting. Well, all of them are exciting really. But you know, there are some that just aren't quite as exciting this year, or you kind of expect more from. So we have three contenders in this category. The first one is The Body Shop. Now this one for me was, it was the very first time I had this advent calendar. Never had it before. So when I unboxed it, it was quite a nice calendar. Like, I did enjoy it. But then people were commenting saying, oh, it's the same as last year. And when I looked at last year's, it was identical. And I didn't know that. And I'd obviously not had last year's. So the fact that it was exactly the same as last year, like, you know, can we be a bit more creative? Can we be a bit more exciting? It is Christmas, you know, maybe switch things up a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, I didn't know that when I was unboxing it, because it was the first time I'd had a Body Shop advent calendar. But yes, I'll definitely be checking that next year. Next is Charlotte Tilbury. I mean, I always get the Charlotte Tilbury advent calendar. It's such a gorgeous design. It's absolutely beautiful. And it's nice to unbox. But, I mean, we had fewer full sizes this year. We only had 2 instead of 5 the previous year. It was more expensive. The design was identical as the previous year, just a different colour. And I've definitely had this box before. And even some of the products were the same as the previous year in the same drawers. It's like day 11 and 12 were identical. It's like, where, you know, there's no creativity there. Where's the excitement? Still a nice calendar, but need more excitement. And then the third one, which is actually my winner for this category, Pretty Little Thing. I mean, spoolies, a pencil sharpener. Is there anything more boring in an advent calendar? Why are they even in there? Yeah, I don't really know what they were doing with that one. I think they were just relying on the hype on TikTok and hoping that everyone would love it. But I mean, it wasn't the most expensive calendar, but I don't want spoolies. I don't want a beauty blender in a plastic bag. A pencil sharpener? Come on, guys. So yeah, that is the winner in that category for me. The next category is Best Newcomer. Now this is quite an exciting one because we actually had some new advent calendars this year. So we have 3 in this category. The first one is Florasis. This was a new one for me and also their very first advent calendar, and I just thought it was a really, really nice calendar. It had beautiful packaging, a really nice collection of their product, and overall for the cost I thought that was quite good. The next one is of course Vogue. This was Vogue's very first advent calendar this year and definitely one of my faves. It was just, again, such a fab calendar. I think they really made their mark on the advent calendar world with just the whole design of the calendar and the products inside, and it's definitely one I'm going to have on my radar for next year. But the winner of this category is Boux. Now the reason I've chosen Boux is because we've wanted a Boux advent calendar for the longest time. We have all the other brands in Boux, they all have their individual calendars, but we haven't had a Boux one, and Boux have so many amazing brands. It was just about time they had a calendar, and this year they did, and it was such a good price as well. It was £99, so I don't think they overpriced it at all. It was really good value for money, and it was just a great selection of products. So yeah, I really enjoyed that one. Okay, the next category is the most disappointing. So I'm going to pause so you can leave your comments down below and let me know what you think is the most disappointing advent calendar, because there could be quite a few in this one. So first up, we're going to start with Charlotte Tilbury. So as I mentioned earlier, it was the same design chest as previous years, fewer full-size products, it was £10 more expensive, and it just wasn't very exciting. Each year I hope that this is the year where we're going to get a little eyeshadow quad, because I don't see why they can't put an eyeshadow palette in it when other multi-brand calendars do, and they're a much better value for money. And I just feel like quite a lot of people are getting bored with the calendar now as well, and they're just not very excited by it. So that is definitely a contender in this category. Next up, we have YSL. Now the reason I put this one in this category is because of the sheer number of lipsticks and red lipsticks. So last year it was a red lipstick overload, there was so many of them. This year there were still quite a lot, there were fewer, so I'll give them that, but it's still a little bit too many. I feel like we could definitely mix it up, put some different products in there, and a few different shades as well. The next contender is Dior. Now I think people have different reasons for saying this is the most disappointing. Firstly because of the price, obviously it's a very, very expensive advent calendar, and the size of the products that you get inside are not that big at all. I really enjoy the calendar, it is one of my faves, and I think it's absolutely stunning this year, especially with the design and the way they've done it, so it is actually reusable rather than last year when you had to rip it open. That was disappointing. But the reason I say that for me is because the lipsticks that arrived in the Dior calendar were all broken, so that wasn't, you know, it wasn't exciting. Imagine if I'd waited until December to open it and my lipsticks would have been broken. Like, how disappointing is that in December? It's a good job that I actually opened mine a lot earlier to unbox them. But yeah, I think that's a good thing to do with all advent calendars though. When they arrive, get someone else to check that all the products are there and that they're not damaged, because then you can get them swapped. I did actually reach out to Dior, if anyone's interested, and they have sent me a label to send the lipsticks to them, and they're going to replace them with full-size lipsticks because they don't actually stock the minis. So I'm going to get 3 full-sized brand new lipsticks, which is nice. And yeah, kind of what I expected, you know, I've paid a lot of money. So I want my products to be intact, you know. But the winner for the most disappointing has to be Pretty Little Thing. Last year's Pretty Little Thing advent calendar was great. Like, I was so impressed with it. I wasn't expecting anything, and it was just wow. There was some really, really good products inside, and for the price I thought it was great. So this year I was kind of expecting it to equal that, but it just wasn't a vibe. So yeah, that was the most disappointing for me. I mean, I don't expect a lot when I'm only paying £48, but I expect more than a pencil sharpener and spoolies, you know? The next category is the best design advent calendar. There were so many gorgeous designs this year. This was really hard to choose. So we have 5 different calendars in this category. The first one is of course P. Louise. I mean, obviously. It was a princess castle. It lit up, it had a train. It was amazing. Such a gorgeous design. I think it was quite expensive to ship anywhere other than the UK. My shipping was £1, so that was absolutely fine. But I believe that the shipping to America was very expensive. Obviously it was quite a heavy calendar, quite bulky, the boxes were really big, so a bit of an issue, but gorgeous design. And even the design on all the individual products, on the individual packaging, it was just 10 out of 10. Amazing. Next is MAC. Now MAC's this year was like, it was like a snowflake, wasn't it? Or like a Christmas tree kind of thing in the middle. Really festive. I really loved the silver and the Christmassy vibe. We haven't seen many Christmassy calendars this year, so it was really nice to see that one, and I just loved the way it just opened. It was just so different and really creative, so that's definitely a contender. Then we have Vogue, of course, with all their different Vogue covers for each day, and I just thought that was just such a different idea. Really creative and really interesting to like look back on all these different designs. I thought they were absolutely stunning. I really like that one. Obviously that one is quite bulky, so in terms of like storage, it's like, where am I actually going to put this? But really, really gorgeous calendar. Then we have the Dior advent calendar. Like I said, last year we had to rip it open. Absolutely stunning design last year. I loved it, but having to rip it open just ruins it for me. So it's really nice to have it in a reusable house. The white and gold design I thought was absolutely stunning. I really, really like that. And the fact we had like the Dior bar on the front, which was metal to open it, it was just beautiful. I really, really like this one. I think it's so stunning. It's going to look really nice in this room as well. I'm definitely going to keep it and reuse it. And then I think the winner for this category has to be Selfridges. So obviously Selfridges is a very reusable calendar, but when it comes to design as well, it just feels really premium, really luxurious and really sturdy. I just love the festive colours. Like when I look back on my pictures that I take every day for Instagram, I just think the Selfridges ones look really nice and festive with the red and the gold, like I think it's supposed to be like confetti. Someone actually commented on my Selfridges unboxing video saying that it looked like a giant cupcake that I was holding. And it actually does with it. I think it's confetti on it. But yeah, I just thought it looks really festive, really nice, and just it's a simple design but really effective, and of course super reusable, which is great. Which brings us on to the next category of most reusable. Now a lot more this year were actually reusable, and I thought that was really good. Obviously you can technically reuse most calendars unless you have to rip the doors open, but some of them they're just not really usable. So, for example, the YSL Beauty Advent Calendar, obviously that's drawers that you open, which is reusable technically, but it's that thin, you can't really fit much in it. So, unless you're using it for something small like jewellery or, I don't know, just something small, I can't really fit any products in there, or you can only fit them in the odd drawers. Same with like the Charlotte Tilbury one. I tried to reuse that on my dressing table as makeup and skincare storage a couple of years ago. But most of the products don't really fit in. They'd only fit into the bottom two drawers because the drawers weren't deep enough. So reusable, but only for certain things. Now I don't really think I'm going to be able to pick a winner for this one because they're all just great. First up we have the White Company. This is one that I actually reused, and I did a DIY advent calendar and I filled it back up with products and gifted it to someone else. And of course it is reusable not just for an advent calendar but as storage as well, because the drawer sizes are quite good sizes. You can fit quite a lot in them. It's a nice sturdy calendar, very much like the Harrods, which is number 2. This has been the same design for the last few years. Really nice sturdy advent calendar, really nice drawers. We have the ribbon to open them, and just great for reusing afterwards. And Harvey Nichols, exactly the same, but instead of having ribbon we have the cutout like the White Company drawers. But again, I've reused this one. It is great, really sturdy, really nice design and great for reusing. And then we have the 2 chest designs. So we have the Sephora, which was like the really big orange chest. That was great for reusing as well. It was only one drawer and then it was the top compartment, but the drawer was very deep, which makes it great for some bigger products, which you can't always find storage for. And again, really sturdy, nice big box, great for storage. And then we have Selfridges again, which this one has the 2 drawers. So they aren't as deep as the Sephora one, but perfect for regifting, perfect for storage. We have the different compartments on it as well, and definitely reusable. So I mean, for this one I think it depends on what you're reusing it for. For me personally, I will go with Selfridges because I will be reusing this one for skincare and makeup storage. I currently use the Look Fantastic beauty chest. I have 2 of those, but I think the Selfridges calendar is slightly bigger, I think. So yeah, that is the best one for me. The next category is the most Christmassy advent calendar, which was quite hard to choose because there aren't that many, to be honest. There are so many beautiful designs for advent calendars out there, but less and less are very Christmassy. I think for brands to create a calendar which people want to reuse and keep out all year round, they don't really use very Christmassy designs, which is fair enough because with a lot of them as well you can take the drawers out and turn them around, so you can still use them afterwards, but it doesn't have the numbers on, so it doesn't look like an advent calendar, which is obviously better because then you can reuse it all year round. But at Christmas it is nice to have a Christmassy advent calendar, nice Christmassy theme. So it was nice to see a few Christmassy designs. The first one is of course MAC, with their beautiful snowflake Christmas tree, whatever it was in the middle. Absolutely stunning, really nice festive design, and all the doors as well were red. So it was the silver and the red, it was snowflakes on the front, it was just stunning. Nice and Christmassy and just gets you in the festive mood, doesn't it? Next we have the YSL advent calendar. So last year this was just plain black and gold, but this year they've gone for like the gold and white snowflake, and it just looks absolutely stunning. Nice and wintry, nice and Christmassy kind of theme. Definitely not one I would have out all year round. I mean, who wants a snowflake on your side in July? But you know what I mean? Really nice. And I absolutely love the gold and white design. I just think it looks so Christmassy. Then we have the Rituals advent calendars. So there were 3 Rituals advent calendars this year. I unboxed the cheapest and the most expensive. So it was the classic and then the premium. Both of these are Christmassy. They're Christmassy every year. The first one was the house design, which was really, really pretty. But I think the most Christmassy out of those 2 would be the premium one. It's like the little winter village with all the lights, and it's just super cozy. We have the Christmas trees in it as well, and it's just such a beautiful wintry Christmassy scene. It's stunning. So that is definitely one of the best Christmassy ones. But the winner for this category for me this year is going to be the Flannels Beauty Christmas Crackers. So this is their alternative to their advent calendar, so it's not an advent that we open every day. I wish it was, because they did a great advent calendar last year, but this is what they did for their advent calendar this year, so a little bit different, but it's a Christmas cracker, so very Christmassy. And I loved how it opened like an actual cracker as well, rather than the mini crackers that we've got from the different brands, which I did a video on here. Those open just at the end, whereas the Flannels cracker actually opens like you're pulling a cracker, which I just think is so cool. Super Christmassy and really different as well, nice and creative. So yeah, that is my winner for this category. The next category is the cheapest advent calendar. I did unbox a wide range of advent calendars. I did unbox quite a few cheap ones, quite a few expensive ones, and then mainly in the middle. This is to showcase all different types of calendars out there, depending on what your budget is, and just to show you what is out there. A very affordable one this year was Glossybox. This one was £80. So this was like the lowest of kind of the mid-range I would class it as. So between like 80 and 200, that's kind of the mid-range. This was definitely the lower end of that. And for £80, this was a great calendar. It was amazing. And of course, if you are a subscriber to Glossybox, you'll also get the additional discount. So that's definitely a great one. Then we had the Pretty Little Thing advent calendar, which was only £48. This one as well, when I last looked, it had 30% off. So it was like only £35 or something on Pretty Little Thing. So I don't know if they weren't selling enough or if they just made too many, I don't know. But yeah, this one was affordable last year as well, affordable this year. Last year's was definitely better. Then tying in second place, we have the Holland & Barrett advent calendar, which was £45. This was a nice drawer design as well, with the little boxes inside, very cute. And of course it is all vegan as well, which was great. And then also in second place we have the M&S, which was also £45, which was a really great price, especially for the brands we got inside. Like, that was great. And we did have the reusable like makeup vanity case as well, which was nice. But the cheapest one this year is Invisibubble. So this one is only £30. It's just hair bubbles and hair accessories, so which is why it's probably at this low price point. But I really like that calendar. It stocks me up for a very long time with Invisibubbles, and it's great. So Invisibubble is technically the cheapest. If we're looking at the best cheapest, I would probably go for M&S, purely because I think comparing like M&S to Pretty Little Thing, M&S we had a reusable vanity bag. The products were just amazing, and it just blew Pretty Little Thing out of the water. Like, it was great, especially for the price. So yeah, that was a fab one. And then of course we have completely the other end of the scale. We have the most expensive. Now, this year was the year that I've spent the most on beauty advent calendars. There were a lot more around the £250 mark, or I definitely purchased a lot more around the £250 marks. We had like Harrods, we had Liberty, which I didn't get last year, YSL, P. Louise was around, was it $210 I think it was? So there were some quite pricey ones. But then Vogue released their advent calendar, which was £350, which was insanely expensive, but really, really good. And then the winner for the most expensive this year is, of course, Dior, which was £570, which is insane. So expensive. Beautiful calendar, so expensive. And the final category for this video is the best of 2023. There is only one in this category, and this is my favourite advent calendar for 2023. It was quite tricky to choose this. I thought I had a winner, then another one came along, but I went back to my original, and I'm still going with Space NK as the winner for 2023 Advent season. That calendar for me was just such a wow calendar. The price was amazing for the value of products we got inside. The number of full sizes was great, and the actual products were exciting. It was just exciting to unbox, and I can't wait to dive into a lot of these products and find some new faves. So that finishes the Advent Awards for 2023. Just a bit of a fun video, just running through some of the Advent calendars that we've seen this year. Obviously I've not mentioned all of them in today's video. There were lots of other Advent calendars, and for some of these categories there were a lot more that could have been included, but I didn't want to sit here just reeling off lists and lists and lists of Advent calendars for every category. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said earlier, let me know what your winners are for each of these categories. There was quite a few categories there, weren't there? So let me know what you would pick as the winner for each one, and if it's different to the ones that I chose. But that is it for Advent season 2023. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much to everybody who has joined me on my channel, who has subscribed, who has liked, who has commented, who has joined. I appreciate every single one of you, and I thank you so much. So I hope you have an amazing Christmas and New Year. And of course, lots more videos to come. I've got lots of new exciting ideas for New Year, and still more videos to come before New Year though, so I'm not going anywhere. But yes, enjoy Christmas, enjoy New Year, and I'll see you soon for another video.
These are the good times with you, baby. This year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh,